Hey guys, today we're going to install the lower crash bars from SRC onto the Yamaha Tenere 700. We also have a video on installing the upper crash bars from SRC. If you're looking for that, there's a link in the description. As you can see, once you get both of these sets of crash bars installed, you've got top to bottom comprehensive protection for the bike. This lower set gives really good protection to both the left and right hand side engine cases and also that vulnerable water pump. These crash bars are made from a 25mm stainless steel tube with 2mm wall thickness, so they're super strong bars, and they're mounted to an 8mm thick stainless steel plate. These bars will fit with the SRC 5mm bash plate and also the OEM Yamaha bash plate, but other bash plates you may have to check or possibly make some modifications. Very easy job to install these lower crash bars. The only tools you're going to need are a 12mm socket and ratchet and 5 and 6mm Allen keys. And of course also you may need to remove your current bash plate to install the crash bars, so you'll need whatever tools you need to remove your bash plate. So this is assuming that you already have the upper crash bars installed. If you don't have those installed already, you'll need to install the mounting bracket, which will require a 10mm Allen key and a 17mm spanner. I'll go over installing the mounting bracket in the upper crash bars installation video, so check the link in the description if you want to see how to do that. But basically you're just removing the 17mm engine mount bolts one at a time and then attaching that 8mm mounting plate with the supplied bolts. So what have we got in the box? Well, one set of lower crash bars. We have a cross brace that goes across the bottom of the bike. We've got some stainless mounting bolts and washers. We've got some thread lock in the kit. We've got our sacrificial sliders with self-tapping screws. We've got instructions. And if you bought this kit separate from the upper crash bar set, you will also get the 8mm mounting plates and the replacement engine mount bolts. Alright, let's get started. You may or may not need to remove your bash plate. I have here just to make it easier for you to see what I'm doing. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the two 12mm bolts on the right hand side, just below the right hand foot peg. Now we're going to take our cross brace and lay it under the bike in this orientation. The mounting bolts on the left hand side of the bike are further towards the back of the bike. Now we're going to take one of these M8 bolts, the non-countersunk ones, with one of the washers, and we're going to apply some thread lock to it. We're going to align the lower part of the crash bar with the lower mounting holes, and then we're going to thread the M8 bolt through the lower crash bar and into the mounting plate. And we're just going to leave it finger tight for now. Now we need two of our countersunk M8 bolts with the countersunk washers, and we're going to thread lock these as well. Now we're going to locate the end of the cross brace in between the lower crash bar mount and the frame of the bike and thread both bolts through and into the frame. We're not going to tighten any bolts down too much until we get the crash bars on both sides of the bike installed. So moving to the left hand side of the bike, we're going to repeat the process, removing the two 12mm bolts and installing the left hand crash bar with the supplied bolts. Now finally it's time to go around and tighten up all 6 bolts to the specified torques. For this you'll need your 5 and your 6mm Allen keys. One last final step, you can install the sliders if you want. They are optional, but they do add a little bit more protection for the paintwork on your crash bars. Very simple stuff, just slap the two sides together, screw in the self-tapping screws with a Phillips head screwdriver, and that's it. Make sure you check out the SRC website for any other protective bits that you might need. They've got a lot of protective gear for the Tenere 700 and heaps of other bikes too, guys. Thanks for watching. Cheers.